In the last few years, particularly in the last 2 years, in the current genocide, we're seeing many Muslims, in fact, a lot of Muslims, whether it's the general Muslim, um, the youth, a lot of the youth that see stuff on social media, but even the scholars, they are saying Muslims from all different groups should be uniting, particularly with what we're seeing in Gaza and Palestine as a whole, in places like Lebanon, Syria, um, Iran, and elsewhere. And even the scholars are now saying we should be uniting, particularly as the enemies of humanity, quote unquote, Israel, the far right, um, people who are anti-Muslim, are all seeing Muslims as a whole as just Muslims. They do not care where you come from in terms of your theology or jurisprudence or anything like this. And also, many of the differences that we have, they're not always or often. They're not. If you believe this, then you are Muslim. If you don't believe it, then you're not Muslim. Most of the differences are not like that. So we should be uniting. And uniting doesn't mean that we all now believe. I believe what he believes, and he believes what I believe. No, that's not the case. And of course, some differences you might unite with some people for different causes that requires unity, but doesn't mean now that I believe everything that he believes and he believes what I believe, which is why it's good to see. And this is from January 2026, this month, not from years ago. This is from the Facebook page of Asim ul Haq. Allah has brought them together through Pakistan's army, Alhamdulillah. Yasin Zafar Sahib Ahl Hadith Nizam Nazim A'la of Wifaqul Madaris Al Salafiyah is kissing the forehead of Mufti Taqi Usmani Deobandi, and Mufti Muneeb is embracing Mufti Muneeb, who's Barelvi background, is embracing Hanif Jalalandari Sahib, president of the Deobandi Wifaq. This shows that our differences will remain, but when it comes to unity against our enemies, they stand united. No foreign power can undo Pakistan, inshallah. We can see these are some of the most high caliber scholars globally, not just in Pakistan. You can put any of these in any Muslim country, in any Arab country, and I'm pretty certain that they will be able to showcase their excellence in many different fields in Islam, and I'm sure they will also be able to understand and also speak in a decent manner in Arabic, and even without Arabic, they would be able to deal with issues that many Arab scholars deal with, and showcase how capable they are, and that they are often um, at the forefront of dealing with issues in Pakistan and outside of Pakistan. They have been doing so for decades, and some of them are not only are they the highest caliber in terms of fiqh, you can say that some of them are at the level of a faqih, but they're also students of, they're also teachers of fuqaha. Um, so they how high their knowledge is, and then how high the knowledge of their students are, and having all of this knowledge and experience, and then passing it on to students who are following in your footsteps, and even then themselves having students, you are the grand teacher of some of these students. They can still unite, and like I said, they're uniting in a way where it's needed for different things. Doesn't mean now, example, doesn't mean Mufti Taqi believes everything that Mufti Muneeb believes, and the other way around, and with the other Sheikh of the Salafi, they're not saying that we're united and we believe everything, that we all our beliefs are the same now. But this is what is needed. If it can be done in Pakistan, where or in South Asia, particularly in Pakistan, where you like whether you're South Asian or not, people know the 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 split between the Barelvi, the Deobandi, and Salafi, and it's very very felt and present, and you can feel the impact of it in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. So if they can unite in Pakistan over places, then people can unite everywhere else, and particularly in the UK. If they can do it in Pakistan, they can do it in the UK, and it's not as felt in the UK as much because we're mixing with different people from different backgrounds in terms of theology and jurisprudence. So this is something that is needed, and this is how you're gonna strengthen the Muslims to become one in terms of defending Islam and the Muslims This isn't washing down or diluting, watering down rather, or diluting principles or jurisprudence or creed or anything like that. This is something that we needed. And also, one thing that I'd like to say: if you see someone that needs help on the road, they might have fallen down. Nobody's gonna, and you can tell they're visibly Muslim. They got a beard, they got a hat on, or you can see the hijab. You're not gonna ask them. Even in Pakistan, you're not gonna ask them, "Are you a Barelvi? Or you a Salafi? Or you this?" You will help them because you see they are Muslims. You would help them anyway, even if you can't tell they're Muslims. So here, it's the same way that these are Muslims and they're against the non-Muslims, but not particularly against just any non-Muslims. The non-Muslims that are the enemies of us, the enemies of humanity, and they are enemies towards Muslims and non-Muslims. We've seen how they deal with Christians also, and even many Jewish people say that they hate certain people in those communities, and even if they pretend that they are Jewish, Jewish people reject them. So we can see these people, they are the enemies of humanity, they're enemies of us as well. So it's only helping them if we do not unite. And particularly we have seen, and the video is getting longer than I wanted it to be, but we have seen they thrive on our division and in public, and it's many have put tens of thousands, if not millions, behind different people to make sure that we are divided, and they fear a united Muslim nation. This is why they are doing what they are doing in different parts of the world. If the Muslims were united, some people would be completely destroyed in such a way that they would not even think about doing what they have already, what we are witnessing. They wouldn't even think about doing it, never mind actually doing it. But we are not united. People from the people from the same mosque are not united, and people think we're gonna bring back the Khilafah. We're not gonna bring back the Khilafah. We can't agree upon things. We got so-called Muslim sellouts that are saying, we should not boycott Israel. We should drink coke and all of these things. These khabith, jahil, vermin, waste of sperm. These so-called Muslims. These are the ones that are paid by certain people to do all of these things, and they can be united in their misguidance with the enemies of humanity, and we're seeing that is working. If they can do that, then we can unite against these people, and particularly those so-called Muslims. Muslims around the world should be uniting against them, and then when nobody will give them a platform, people are giving them platforms because Muslims are ignorant. If these people were warned about and academically destroyed, they would not have any careers left to. But unfortunately, they're in our masajid. They come to our masajid. They come on tours in the UK and America and elsewhere and spew their nonsense. This is something that we need: unity of the scholars. We should unite the general Muslims in these causes, not necessarily saying that you have to believe X, Y, Z as someone else believes. And if we're not gonna do it now, then it's not gonna happen at all. Like, you can see that we need it, and hopefully this is the beginning and the encouragement and the domino effect of it started here and it continues elsewhere. And like I said, if it can start in Pakistan, where the Barelvi, Deobandi, Salafi split is like pretty much part of the country, that they do not get on. If it can happen there, then it can happen in the UK and it can happen everywhere else.